Okay, so here's my question. Do you believe that the makeup is going to last? Or is it going to run right off her face the first time that it rains? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 2, episode 5 of Married to Medicine LA. And I got questions. We saw some folks make up today, and I want to know, do you think it's going to last or not? We're going to talk about it. Anyway, first things first. Kendra and Jasmine are getting together, and Jasmine is actually going to be helping Kendra to get back in shape. Like I said, I had noticed in some pictures that they had actually shown that Kendra wasn't a heavy girl. Kendra was actually a smaller girl. And I said, oh, okay. So she actually did elaborate and show some pictures and talked about the fact of how she got onto this weight gain situation, and now she's working to get off of it and turn it into a weight loss situation. So, hey, I'm here for it. And I didn't know Jasmine actually did fitness competitions, so she's perfect to help her. And her mouth is real right there, so it should be no issue, getting her off of the fast foods and the junk foods and that, because she was going through her refrigerator, her cupboards, and throwing stuff. I said, girl, she ended up throwing her shit away. She had it all piled up at the door to take out to the garbage. I said, oh my. I said, girl, she's not playing with you at all. The M&Ms were gone and all. Anyway, moving on. Imani and Britain got together, took their children down to the African American Museum, and they had some tough conversations with the kids, about being black in America and that whole thing. So, very, very touchy, and it's so weird that this week is the week that this episode actually aired. Weird timing, but perfect timing actually. So yeah, there was some tough conversation for some little people, but unfortunately they need to know. They need to know this is actually what goes on. So breaks the heart of a parent, but you got to do it. You got to do it. Okay, Leah and Kendra sat down together, and Leah said, "You know what? I'm over all of this fighting. Like, I'm done with this." And she gave an analogy that she had gotten from her mother. And she said, what her mother said, if you are fighting and arguing across the street with a crazy person, people who are onlooking have a hard time knowing who the crazy person actually is, because y'all are doing the same thing. And there's no which one is the one that's loose, honey. So I said, very interesting. Never thought about that, but that's very, very interesting. Very interesting and very true. Very true. You, child, because people really do look at me like, oh, this two, child. But easier said than done. Anyway, she says she's done with it. She doesn't want to do all this fighting anymore. Um, More specifically with Shanique, she's just like over it. Kendra invites her to go to her favorite winery with her and Shanique so they could sit down and it's just them and they could get the beef squashed. So Leah said, okay. I said, all right. Let's see what actually will come from this, okay? They move on. Shanique and Jasmine actually get together, and she does a presentation of a PowerPoint basically that she's going to do for Robert. Um, Basically to sell this whole idea of her going into this luxury real estate business. And I just kind of laughed at her. I was like, girl, look at her. She kills me being, she wants to be so much. And you sitting up there talking about a loss of income instead of a loss of income. I said, girls. And I'm nitpicking her because that's how she is. She's nitpicky and bitchy. But when I heard her say a loss of income, I said, a what? And I said, you know, you're being out of order. It's a loss with two S's, not the S and the T, of income, sis. But anyway, yeah, I'm being petty and moving on. Horrible. Anyway, Imani meets up with her mom. You know, I love to see Imani's mom come through. Her mother comes through and shakes the foundation up a little bit. But they talked about, you know, the whole process of learning about their Chinese roots, because she actually is, her grandma was Jamaican and Chinese, so she does actually have Chinese roots. And they talked about, when they first discovered it, and when they went to visit, and all of that. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Um, Her mother, though, tapped into this whole thing about these living arrangements with Phil not being there and all this. Mama ain't on board with that mess. She like, I don't get it. I don't know how that's going to work, but I can't see it. Y'all living in separate houses, and I just don't see it. I don't see it. Just not here for it. I was like, girl, her mother don't cut no corners and don't pull no punches. I love it. I love it. She just, this is what it is, honey. She told her, okay, you can leave now. Child, that is so me and my mother, child. And my mother gives that same thing like her mother gave. Did you just say I could leave? Okay. The only difference, her mother said, that's my cue. My mother will give you very much of, I'm not leaving until I get ready to leave. And you better not try to leave until I'm done talking to you. See, that's my mom and her foolishness. A mess, child. Anyway, let's go over here to this winery. Baby, why? Okay, so listen, Kendra showed, messy ass Kendra. She showed up late on purpose. They got there, and them two had to sit down and spend some time with just the two. Baby, they both showed up in these beautiful yellow dresses, both of them. I said, look. And as they sat there and talked, you found they had more in common than you even find. Both of them got a daughter named Kayla. Both of them showed up in these yellow dresses. Both of them showed up in these sandals. And they sat there and they act like they had some damn sense. And I just laughed. Child, then Kendra showed her late ass up shady with that old ugly, goddamn, non-flattering jumpsuit. I said, so now you can actually see, it's not a picture, you can actually see the jumpsuit for what it is. And that month is ugly. It's ugly. And I'm not surprised that somebody didn't crack some jokes about that shit's ugly. That did not, it wasn't even a cute jumpsuit. It did absolutely nothing for Kendra. Way too cute to be wearing that bullshit. That's a horrible jumpsuit. And when you take it off, you should set fire to it. It is awful. Awful. Completely awful. Leah ended up overall apologizing about the comments that she actually had made. Um, they made up. They basically made up. And old Shanique pulls a rock out from her boobs and gives the rock to Leah. And I'm like, so like I said at the beginning of this, do you think this is going to last? Or how long is it going to last? Is the makeup going to last through the first rain when it runs down her face? Or what's really going to go on? Child, don't trust it. I don't trust Shanique for a moment. Remember, there's two mean girls. She's not a mean girl by herself. She's a mean girl with a partner. So her and Miss Jasmine, honey, I said, I don't think she'll be able to resist when they get them back together. They'll just go back to what it is they do. Anyway, we will see, and I will be watching with my patty eye on. I'll be watching. Anyway, so Contessa meets up, and her, Britain, and Imani meet with each other over in New Orleans. I said, oh, they get ready to have some good fun, honey. And they get there, go to the house. You know, the house is given very New Orleans. Got a whole lot going on. And I said, didn't we rent this house before on one of these here shows? The same house over there in Atlanta with the Atlanta girls. That's the same Airbnb, y'all. Anyway, child, y'all playing in our face. Anyhow, so they go to dinner. And at the dinner, and by the way, the three of them, baby, they were all done. Done, 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 done. They look so cute. Their little outfits and their heels, honey, coming on through. Went on down to dinner on Bourbon. And they were just speaking, you know, having some girl chat and talking about where they, you know, them in college and how far they've come and how they couldn't even afford to even go in that restaurant. Now they're actually there and they can order whatever they want. Life is good, isn't it? Life is good. They start talking to Imani, and the whole subject of Idris's father came up. Because she was saying, you know, she thought that Idris was going to show out a little bit when Phil left, but Idris has been really, really good. I mean, he seems to be a real good boy, you know, and Contessa said, you know, well, where is his father? Am I going too far? And I was like, that was so cool, you know, that she asked her, you know, am I going too far? Is it okay to approach this topic? And she's like, oh no, you know, basically she just she came right out with it, which is why I love him on it. She just came out with, listen, baby, I liked it, honey, I hit it, I quit it. We wasn't meant for each other. He was emotionally unavailable. It wasn't a good thing, but I messed around. I was a second-year resident and ended up being knocked up. And it was what it was. The relationship didn't work out, but I ended up with Idris, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with being with my baby. I love my baby, and the hell with that relationship. I said, come on through. Flat out. She Dr. Imani. She just put it on out there. Done. Now you judge it however you want to. That's the shit. That's what happened. And that was that. Now, they started talking to her. She's talking about Phil and all this little thing. And Britt was telling her, girl, you know, I done been there with this whole thing, but you basically have to speak up. Imani saying, you know, like she doesn't come out and really tell Phil like that she misses him and that, or what. She's not telling him what she needs. She's kind of being that old strong girl, you know. And so you got to speak up and tell him what your desires and what your wants are. And then if he doesn't reciprocate, then you know there's a deeper problem, and then you'll have to deal with that from there. And I agree with that. Then Britain, they got over on the Britain. I said, oh, Miss Britain, so you giving out advice, but you're not taking no advice. She received what they said and not. Okay? Get that goddamn baby out of your bed and get over there and lap ride your damn husband and quit playing. And she's like, no, I really like my son being in bed, blah, blah. That shit's ridiculous. And like you can see the forest through the trees when it comes to Imani's relationship, you should be able to see the forest through the trees when it comes to your relationship, because at the same time when you were having this conversation over at your house, your husband and Robert are having the same conversation, and your husband, Mac, is not getting what it is that he needs from you. So this is a time when you need to practice what you preach. Stop doing that. Just go ahead and receive what it is that Contessa was saying to you, because she's saying the right thing to you like you were saying the right thing to Imani. Practice what you preach, Britain, because Mac ain't happy, baby, and you got to get that together. You got to get that together. And Imani, I thought Imani was cool, but maybe she not happy. You know, I hope all of this on both parts is nothing but a storyline, because I like both couples. So I hope it all is just storyline bullshit. But, you know, for the sake of what we all do and we all play in our lane, we're going to say, Imani, get your shit together and tell Phil what it is you need and get your man and do what you got to do. And Britain, throw that damn boy out of that bed and go lap ride your husband. Anyway, so again, y'all know I love this old married to medicine stuff here. But I will catch you all next week. And yeah, y'all be safe, and I will talk to y'all soon. Later.